It is Jose Gallegos joining me here on the program for the very first time. Jose, how are you?
I'm good. I feel great. I just left the gym at the house, hydrated up. Right now it's cut weight phase for me, so I'm cutting weight, but I feel great.
I was going to say, you seem in a good mood for a guy who's about to fight on Saturday, and you're cutting weight right now.
I feel great, yeah. I've taken the cut weight. For this fight, I took the approach. I just started cutting a lot earlier, cut a lot sooner than I usually do.
Okay, well, that's good. We'll talk about your preparations for this fight in just 1 second. But first time you and I have had a chance to chat, where did this journey begin for you? How did you get involved in combat sports?
I'm 22. At the age of 7, my parents put me in karate. I did that till I was 10 in Valdosta. So I feel like I represent Valdosta very well. I did karate in Valdosta, and then in middle school I did middle school wrestling, and then I did football, what made me tough, playing South Georgia football. And in South Georgia wrestling, I went to wrestling since in 8th grade all the way throughout high school. Won me a couple of championships, Greco champion, freestyle champion. And after that, I went to college. When I was 18, I'm just a competitor. My dad installed me to compete. So my brother from another mother, Anthony Sager, we grew up together from Lowndes High, and we're wrestling partners, and we became close friends, and we've always talked to each other. And when he had his first kickboxing fight, I was inspired. I was like, bro, get me involved. And then I had mine 4 months later, and it's just been going on from there. I've had my first MMA fight. I was 18. I'm 22, but I turned 23 right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's crazy. I've seen how many – you have, 10 amateur fights already, and you're only 22. That's nuts.
Oh, yeah, that's not even including my kickboxing, and it's not even including 2 other amateur. I'm actually 9-3. It's not including 2 on Tapology. And Tapology still has me number 1 in Georgia, number 1 in Florida, and number 3 in the Southeast, not even including 2 wins that I also have in Keys.
That's great, man. How did you get so many fights? Is it just right place, right time, good management? How do you get that much, that many fights in?
How many fights in? Support. I'm around people that fight all the time. My brother, he's also a fighter. This is fight week. For my team in my gym, we have a fight every week. Last week we had a person, my partner in the gym, my teammate, he had a fight in New York City. This week, me and my teammate, colleague battle, teammate first debut fight, Tyler. And then next week, my brother. That's why I'm so involved. Is my brother's involved with it. I'm 22, he's 21. We're 17 months apart. My first amateur fight and his first amateur fight, we both debuted together. And also brother from another mother, Anthony Sager. All of our first debuts were together. So all 3 of us at a young age all fight at the same time. It just sparked something that's just kept going, and we're not stopping. The balls keep on rolling, and so it's just a team I have.
That's cool, man. That's great. And sort of last move before we get into the fight, do you have like a job outside of MMA, or are you just training full time? Like what are you doing right now?
I do. I have a full-time job. I'm a correctional officer in Madison for the state of Florida. Oh,
awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and also doing that. I've been doing that for 2 years. And then I did take took a break for about a year, not because of COVID. And I guess during COVID, it also worked out because it gave me time with my job as well. But, yeah, I do that as well. I work at correction. So when I did that since I was 20, I'm 22. But so my first 2 years fighting, I was just in the gym 2 a day, 6 days a week. And so I had an adjustment. And that's what I had to learn from my losses was to adjust. Because it was during that time I was getting a job full-time, getting my schedule right. So through my fights, I have had to evolve and learn something, also inside the ring and outside. And that's why I love the game so much.
Well, also, I mean, not everyone can be a correctionals officer. I mean, that's a tough job, I would imagine, mentally.
Yeah,
how much does that sort of lean into your fight career, and just in terms of, because you got to be mentally strong when you go in the cage too?
Honestly, yeah, it's stressful, but I don't let nothing bother me. I don't let nothing else faze me, and then it just makes me stronger at the end of the day. And I've done great things in my job as well. Also, I've done great things inside the ring and outside the ring. I got Employee of the Month in my job this month. I've won competitions. I'm working to be a trainer I'm doing things for my work as well. So I'm just a hardworking young man right now, and I'm also married at the age of 22. I have a wife, and I just have a lot going for me.
Where does that come from? I mean, you're very mature. You got a full-time job. You're married. All this stuff. Where does that just come from? Your upbringing, or what made you? A lot of 22-year-olds are not getting married and have a full-time job.
Yeah, and also fighting
Yeah.
and then making it a day in, day out thing. Oh, man, that's just a hard work. I would say it was installed the good attitude from my mother and the hard work from my dad. My dad's the type of guy, at the end of the day, he'll look at you and says, how much, he'll look at you and be like, I've done more than you. What have you done? You can't do nothing. You can't say anything if I've done more than you. So I'm like, okay. So I've always been a competitive person. So like growing up, I've always like, all right, I'm gonna do more than my dad. And I also grew up in the paint and body shop. I've been working in the paint and body shop. My dad's been a paint and body man for 20 years, 22 years. I grew up in the paint and body shop. So hard work and in a hot tin aluminum foil, like bed for painting the cars, prepping cars, painting cars, and in high school, and also in high school I've also it seemed like I had a part-time job with my dad and wrestling full-time year out and I did great in school too. I had a full scholarship my first year in college. So I just had hard work installed from my father and my family.
That's great, man. That's awesome. Let's talk about your opponent here, Tyler Keating. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Oh man, all I know is that he's 5-2. I don't really look into my fighters. I look more in myself and keep myself prepared. Anything can happen. I know that can happen. It's MMA. Anything can happen in a fight. So I prepare myself. I have seen some of his fight films, and I have been studying. I am ready for this guy. I am 100%, 110% ready for this guy. I might be 130% ready for this guy.
There you go. Well, that's good to hear. A lot of confidence going into this fight. You sort of named some of the guys you get to train with. Who are some of your main training partners, or is it mainly the gentleman you just mentioned?
Main training partners, my coach Camden Ville. He's always getting his hands dirty with me, roughing me up. Anthony Sanger, my brother from another mother. He's on a ball. He's like on like a 7-fight win streak. He's number 145 champion. My brother, Jose Gallegos, right now, CJ, and also all the opponents that are fighting this week, Tyler, Kalik Battle. Those names are predominantly the most who I've been training with that's got me to where I'm at.
I know you're feeling confident. I know you feel like you're going to win on Saturday. How do you envision the fight playing out?
How do I envision the fight playing out? I envision a finish. I'm going for a finish. I'm looking for a finish in this fight. I'm on a 3-fight win streak, and all by decision. I got to make a statement. In this fight, I'm making a statement. 4-fight win streak with a finish.
Love it. Obviously, I know the goal is to go pro, and we talked about your experience there. I know you're young, but you do have a lot of fights. Like, when are you looking to make that jump, assuming all goes well on Saturday?
Man, I hope I try to plan things out, but it's hard to plan things with life because life just does its own thing. I'm trying to plan things out to make work adjust for me and my fight career. Until work really adjusts for me is when I will go pro. But I feel pro ready right now. I feel like my cardio's there. I feel like my training partners are at a high level. I have good support, and really just outside of the cage is what stopped me from going pro.
Okay, that makes sense, and that's good. You're able to sort of balance everything together. We talked about work and your career and all that. What about outside the cage, like in terms of hobbies? I know you're busy. You probably don't have much time to do other stuff, but you getting in any video games? You watching any other sports? What am I finding you doing when you get that little bit of free time?
My hobby is my family. Every free time I get, I'm with my family. Cookouts with the in-laws, backyard football with my brothers, hanging out with my dad, drinking with my dad. My free time is my family, and just my family. What do I do in my free time? I do have hobbies as paint and body. I like working on vehicles. I like working on my own truck. I do coach here and there, middle school wrestling, high school wrestling.
Wow. Okay.
I was involved in refereeing. I like being involved in the young athletes as well, in the gym as well. I like to train a couple classes for the youth in the gym. Other than that, family and then training the youth, that's my hobbies.
What was the last car you worked on, or truck, or vehicle you worked on?
Oh man, the last car I worked on, I had bought a car. I bought a car for $1,000, fixed the front bumper, gave it fixed the rear bumper, gave it a whole new paint job, flipped it for $3,000.
That's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to this fight. It's coming up here on Saturday. It is Combat Quest 14. Jose, really appreciate the time, man. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media you want to plug? I'll give you the last word.
Oh man, I want my family, who have a bunch of family in Plant City coming. I want y'all to be loud. I want y'all to be proud. I'm here to represent.
Awesome. All
And
right.
thanks for my support from my team, my family, and my coworkers.
Cool. And then
Thank
any
you.
social media you want to plug there or anything?
Social media I'll plug there. You can go on Instagram, Jose Gallegos 8249 is where you can find me. On Facebook, Jose Gallegos, or go American Top Team Valdosta. You'll find all entertainment there, all the fighters in Valdosta.